Isn't the service charge taken by the Islamic bank similar to the interest charged by the modern bank? Is it in the same concept with the change of words to attract the Muslims?
Sister posed the question that isn't the service charge taken by the Islamic bank the same as the interest charge by the modern bank, with a change of word just to attract the Muslims as a bait? Theoretically, if you analyze the interest charged today by the modern bank, it is about 11%, it's about 14% to 15%. It varies, depends upon a project, 14 to 18%, sometimes it's 20%. If you want a loan, a particular loan for a particular project, etc., and if you go to Islamic bank has a service charge. Take for example the service charge charged by the Barakat investment, so the Baitul Nasar, the Barakat investment and Baitul Nasar. It is varying from 8% to 15%. It varies 8 to 15%, but in the past few years it is somewhat similar to 14%. So even if you agree that 16% interest charged by the modern bank is somewhat similar to the 14% charged by the Islamic bank as service charge, it's one and the same, 19-20 ka farak hai, difference of just a few percentage here and there. But the basic concept is the same. It is same as interest, only a change of words. First you have to analyze that the service charge charged by the Islamic Financial Institute is based on the profit and loss which the Islamic bank has. It's not based on interest. In the modern bank, the interest rate is fixed. If it is 16, it will remain 16. In the Islamic bank, the service charge that they take is based on the profit and loss of the full year of that particular company or that institute. And say for example, the profit and loss, it comes to approximately 13% or 14%. So initially they charge 14%. At the end of the year, they actually calculate the amount of loss and profit in which they have gone. And based on that, the last monthly installment is given. If instead of 14%, if they are supposed to be 15%, the last installment will be very big. If instead of 14%, they are supposed to be 12%, the last installment will be negligible. It fluctuates. But one thing we should realize, that if suppose today the Islamic concept of banking is not very famous, suppose only 2 people come every day to the Islamic bank for taking loan. So whatever money is deposited in the saving account, etc., and different account by the depositors, they are given as loan to you. In that bank, 10 people are working. So but natural, the service charge that they charge you will be depending upon the profit which they are giving to the savings account plus the administration cost of the 10 people which are working in the bank. So if only 2 people come every day to that bank, the 10 people's salary will be divided between the 2 people. But suppose tomorrow the system gets famous and instead of 2 people, 100 people come to the bank. The staff will only have to be increased say by twice. Instead of 10, they'll have to give 20 staff. So the salary of 20 people will be divided into 100 people. The service charge will go down. So if more people have faith in the Islamic system of banking, but naturally the service charge will come down, and they're trying their level best to bring it to as low as 8 to 9%, which they will. But one thing we should realize, that if you analyze, if you keep in a fixed deposit account in an Islamic investment company, say the Barakat investment, no investment today in India is a full-fledged Islamic bank, because the RBI does not give it permission to function as a bank. They can only function as an investment financial institute. They can't issue checks. The RBI does not give it permission. Whatever little bit Islamic banking they are following, the Islamic investment, for example, the Barakat investment, if you put your money in the system of Musharaka or Mudareba, fixed deposits, they give you a return of between 16 to 20%. And of course, show us that once they give 16, once they give 17.5, once they give 19. Say for example, Barakat investment gave 19% profit. The service charge that the bank is charging you if you take a loan from Baitul Nasr, which is the sister concern of Barakat Investment, they are only charging you 14%. So if you are clever, what you can do, you can keep your 1 lakh rupees invested in Barakat Investment. Get 19,000 rupees out of 1 lakh rupees. Fine? And same time, since you want that 1 lakh rupees back, you can also take a loan from Baitul Nasr on the deposit which you have of 1 lakh rupees and pay only 14% of service charge. So indirectly, when you keep your 1 lakh rupees, you are getting a return of 19,000 rupees. That same 1 lakh can also be obtained on the same day from Baitul Nasr. And you are paying only 14%, 14,000. At the end of year, without involving a little bit risk also, you are making a profit of 5,000 rupees. But they see to it that people don't try and fool. But if you analyze, the profit that you get from the Barakat investment is 19%. The service charge is 14%. It's not related at all. In the modern bank, it is related. It is directly related. That the interest which the bank pays on fixed deposit may be 10 to 11%. And when you take a loan, they charge 16%. The person who takes a loan always pays 4 to 5% more than what they give to the depositors. In the Islamic bank, it did not be that same. So service charge and the interest is a world of a difference. If you want to lower the service charge, what we have to do, we have to convince more Muslims to have faith in this bank and invest more money. Inshallah, service charge will come down. I hope that answers the question.
Next question.